So we're like, it's not that. I was like, no, it's not going. And it's a huge celebration in a lot of countries, and there's gorgeous, gorgeous names that you can take inspiration from, whether that's from the sun, from radiance, from nature, from Sweden, from all around Europe. So I hope you find something that you absolutely love. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with a lot of these names. The first name, they start off simple, then I get some crazy ones. So the first name is the name Soleil. So interestingly enough, this isn't ranked at the moment, and I think it's really gorgeous. I love it with the E on the end, and it means sun, but it also can refer to solitude, which I actually love. I love nothing more than being alone in the sun, don't we all, on the beach or down by the lake. And I just think it's such a gorgeous name. Actually, it's a bit like Sarah Jane, Soleil, basically my own name, but I just think it's so surprising that it's so underused. We hear Sol maybe more for boys and not Soleil as much, and I think it should be used more. For boys, how about the name Lars? What do you reckon about it? I reckon it's a bit divisive. I reckon you either love it or don't, but we love L sounds for names. They're so gentle, and we're often looking for softer, gentler sounding boy names, and Lars is really lovely and works so well for a baby, for a teen, for a grown-up man, and it means crowned with laurel, so that's perfect for midsummer, or that whole vibe, if we're into that whole boho vibe of the flower crowns, which are traditionally worn at midsummer. What do you reckon of Lars? I reckon it's gonna make its little comeback. The next name means wind or soft breeze, and it's the name Aurea. It's just so lovely. I've actually always loved the name Gloria, and but I've seen Aurea on a few name lists coming through when people send me their name list, which I love. Please do that to my emails below. Aurea, isn't it beautiful? And I love the idea of it meaning this soft breeze. It just puts you right by water, to my mind, and I'm happiest when I'm by water, with a drink in my hand. That is my happy place. Cup of tea, coffee, glass of wine, whatever. Also, it's related to your aura and having a good aura around you, which we all do here. It's the loveliest community, but I love it being Aurea. If you're not brave enough to use aura just by itself, I think it's absolutely beautiful. And with Aurelia and Aurora kind of flying up the charts, Aurea is a tiny bit special just for you and has that beautiful meaning. Next name, I'm getting boy vibes, but could be for either, and it's the name Rune. So runes are old symbols, they're old alphabet, and they're often linked to folklore around summer solstice, and I just think it's a really gorgeous symbol. It means secret, which I also think is quite cute. Keeping your baby a secret, are you, watching these videos? Sometimes I know that somebody's pregnant because they start following me on YouTube, and I'm like, that celeb's pregnant. But it's really gorgeous name, Rune. I love Rue for a boy. I always have. I love it. Wasn't so keen on longer forms, a bit like Rupert and things like that, but I think Rune I could have really got on board with. One syllable name, super sort of spiritual, and gets to that sort of mystical side to it, meaning secret. Rune, are you with me? The next name is Solstice. This is, I know, hippie to the max. I'm in my hippie dress. I'm going with the name Solstice, but I love it, and I've pledged to myself that I'm going to gift this to my daughter as a middle name, because she was born on winter solstice and we were married on summer solstice, and I kick myself that I didn't think of this name earlier, so I'm going to gift it to her as a middle name when she's a little bit older. But I've told you, so it's not a surprise. But I've messaged my sister, remind me, because I just think it is so beautiful. Solstice means when the sun stands still, and I just think it's such a gorgeous image, such a beautiful name. I love the sound of it. It can be for boy or girl. I'm crushing on it. Don't break my dreams, but I just love it. For boys, how about the name Leif? Very Scandinavian, Leif, but I don't know if it's travelling around the world. Have you met a Leif? There's quite a lot that we know in Sweden, and obviously it sounds like leaf. So it's got kind of nature vibe, but it doesn't mean that. It actually means your descendant or your heir. Means that because of a guy called Eric the Red, who was a very famous mariner, sailor, and his son was called Leif, who became very successful in himself, and then the name means Leif. Don't know where that story has come from, if it's a folklore thing or a factual thing, not too sure, but that is where Leif comes from. And I think it is really, really beautiful, very soft sounding again, which seems to be the vibe that I'm going for this list. Posy, I'm obsessed again. It means a bouquet of flowers. I heard this, have you seen the movie About Time? It's absolutely brilliant. It's one of my favourite movies. Don't think I could watch it at the moment, it made me cry too much. But Posy's just so lovely. I just love it. And if you, Rosie is so popular, it's even rising at the moment. So why not leap on to Posy, this little bouquet of flowers. It's traditional for people to go out and pick their own flowers for Midsummer. And there's all these traditions around it, like who you're going to marry and things like that. And we picked, had a hand-picked bouquet for my wedding day of wildflowers. And I think it really brings that to life, Posy. Just such a beautiful wildflower type of name and a gorgeous alternative to a Rosie. Floral names for boys, you can go with the name Florin. What do you reckon of Florin for a boy? It's very European to me, isn't it, Florin? But I love it. It's a really gorgeous name, again, just meaning to flower, to bloom, and I think it's trendy. I think it really works. I think you'd have to be quite daring to use it, Florin, but it works for me. I've been seeing the name Airily a lot. It's on a lot of lists. It's on a lot of baby name Instagrams, and it is beautiful. It really does bring to life being outdoors and being this whole kind of evening outdoors that you really experience during solstice, but it actually has a different meaning where it means eagle wood. Airily. Isn't that interesting? I wouldn't have picked it as meaning eagle wood, which makes me really, really like it as well, because I think it's such a gentle, soft name with a really strong, powerful meaning. Airily, isn't it nice? And I think like with Everleaf being so popular recently, then you could jump onto Airily. It's a really interesting one. It's also a Scottish surname, so if you have Scottish roots, you could go with Airily. The name Volcker literally means people of the earth. It is so outdoors with your shoes off, isn't it, Volcker? And folk meaning people. I love the name Volcker. Funny enough, I know a woman called Volcker, but it's actually a male name meaning chief, so it's more masculine, but interesting one. So in Sweden it's quite popular. There are apparently 20,100 people, men named Volcker in Sweden. Little tidbit, very good to know. But it hasn't travelled as much, Volcker. Do you think it's because it sounds a little bit sweary? But I absolutely love it. I love it. I think it works really well. Maybe it's better on paper. Let me know what you think of it below. The next name, funny enough, is one of the fastest rising names in Netherlands last year. Let me know if that's true if you're from the Netherlands. And it's the name Novi, meaning new, so a spin-off of Nova, and with Novi being this like summer solstice, this new kind of time in the cycle of the seasons, it's a really interesting name for this list, and I love it because I actually love navy as a name, always loved it. Nova I really like, but I actually prefer, my favourite blend of the two is Novi, meaning new. I think it's really pretty. I reckon a lot of you might want to even do the IE at the end, which isn't how it's being spelled here, but you could do that, Novi. How cute is the name Erasmus? Erasmus is such a Scandi name. It's got links to love with Eros, but it actually, Erasmus was the patron saint of sailors, so totally puts you back on that Swedish lake, outdoors. There's lots and lots of boat parties around Midsummer, and it's perfect name for it. What's interesting, so Erasmus was the patron saint of sailors. He was also known as Elmo. I would go Elmo as a nickname, as a family nickname for an Erasmus. It's so cool. It could obviously be Rasmus, Ray, anything like that, but it's a super cool, bold choice as a name. The next one is so trendy, and I've only just heard it for the first time researching this list, and it's the name Kapala. So lots of you will have heard of this, because this is a big celebration in places like the Ukraine. They have Kapala night for June and July. So literally, I'm going to have to read it, I'm going to get it right. So Kapala was the goddess of the summer solstice, and there's a male version of this name, which is Kapalo. So you can also be Kapalo for a boy. So you can have Kapala or Kapalo. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. I know it's kind of, I don't have this proper Scandi accent for it. So Kapalo was a deity and the sort of god of these amazing things: peace, magic water and herbs. All my favourite things. I love all those things. Kapalo, I think it's such a cool name, isn't it? Or Kapala for a girl. It's so good. I love it. It's a traditional ceremony as well. The aspect of it is the fertility deity as well, which is often linked to Midsummer. Kapala. What do you think? Are you a Kapala or a Kapalo? Oh, I'm jealous of that one. Funny enough, it also in Russian translated as meaning swimming, and particularly swimming in the river. The last name I have is a really unusual name. Never heard it before. Love it. And it's the name Autumn. So it's such a cool name because it's totally unwrapped. We love O names. It's one of our most popular sounds for names, with Olivia and Oliver being right at the top. But lately we've heard names like autumn and August coming in, so autumn works so perfectly for being on trend but unique. Like, get rid of Otto, all of those, go with autumn. It means from the shore. So how perfect is that? Just see your feet in the sand or by the water on the edge of a pier. It's just so gorgeous. From the shore, autumn. I think when you want to really connect with water like that, having a name like autumn really works. Could be for either boy or girl. What do you reckon of it? Which is your favourite from this list? Thank you so much for listening. Do give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, because it really helps me out. Share it with a pregnant friend. Let me know any more you would add to this list in the comment section below, or request a name list. Thanks so much for watching. Do hit subscribe for more baby name lists, and I'll see you on my next one. Bye guys.